Okay, hello, and welcome to another amazing interview with another amazing woman. So, I am Claudia Chapman. I'm a women's empowerment and sexual trauma coach, and I am interviewing amazing women and their businesses at the moment. And yeah, amazing women who are healers, coaches, therapists, way showers, and intuitives. And I'm interviewing them and these lovely women in order to understand more about the woman behind our businesses, what motivates us, and what calls us to do what we do. In the world of chaos and confusion, these women are a vital part of our lives right now, and why it's my aim to get to know these women a little better. So today, I'd love to introduce you to the amazing and wonderful Rakhee Shah, who is going to introduce herself to you. So welcome, Rakhee.
Thank you, Claudia. Hello, everyone. I'm Rakhee. I don't actually have a title because I am in a bit of a transition phase, but I am a holistic fertility therapist, first and foremost, and about to embark in a career in functional nutritional medicine, aka gut health. And so there will be a mix of continue with the fertility work, but a lot of gut health. So I'm just trying to work out a title, if that's what it's called, of who I should, or what I need to call myself, if I should be calling myself anything at all. But yeah, otherwise here I am as Rakhee.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've always known you for Fertility Bump and Beyond, and the amazing work you've done helping couples to get pregnant. So I'm also really intrigued and hoping that you'll combine the two about gut health. And gut health is really sort of out there at the moment. People are really becoming aware how important gut health is to our overall well-being. And to me, as an energy healer as well, knowing that the solar plexus, the gut part of our body, the midway point of our body, the fuel system for our body really is a really important part of our healthcare. So I'm so pleased to know that you are moving into this very much needed area. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit about it? Can you tell us a little bit about what you're planning to do?
Yeah. So my journey into helping couples with fertility came about because I was on my own journey with that. We were struggling to conceive. You do the usual 1 year of trying, go to the GP, ask them to test you because it's not happening. They did all the relevant tests, or what I thought were relevant at the time, and it transpired that we had male factor issues. So my husband's sperm was of not the quality it was needed to be to help us conceive. And then we were just literally directed to the fertility specialist, who then said, yep, IVF is your only option. Just wait for the referral, and we'll get you going. Again, so this is back in 2006, 2007, naive, thinking that everything is just medically done, not thinking anything about the holistic, even though I was a holistic therapist, part-time holistic therapist. And it was a reflexologist friend who was going through her own journey, who said, oh, consider the therapy side. I'm seeing an acupuncturist. So I thought, you know what, there's no harm in it, let's try that. So we did that, and oh my god, that journey has opened my eyes up and led me to what I do now. But the whole acupuncture, strengthening my body, strengthening our gut, we saw a nutritionist. She put us on like this diet, which I always thought, oh, I'm a vegetarian, I eat healthily. There's no way, I wasn't a drinker, smoker. So it really opened up my eyes to, wow, nutrition plays a massive part in everything we do. So that started my fertility journey. And then in 2014, I niched into the fertility world because going through my fertility journey, I understood and saw how dark and lonely journey it can be. So many people don't understand, even though it's on the rise. And it was a virtual community that I became a part of, that became my support network. And I was like, wow, people really, really need support in this journey. So long story short, I niched into the fertility world. I sought advanced fertility reflexology training, massage training, nutrition training. I even trained to be a kinesiologist. on a foundation level, and combined all of that together to create my own unique bespoke program, which, you know, then I now use on my clients. And for me, as much as it was about the physical side of it, so the nutrition and the reflexology and all that, it was actually, how can I support my clients emotionally? Because, you know, you're on this massive emotional roller coaster. 1 minute you're up, next minute you're down, you know, you may be stable, you just don't know what's going on. And then, you know, bless the population, you know, questions get asked, things like, when are you having children? Why are you not having children? What's wrong? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? And it was just like, you know what? You don't want those sorts of questions being asked at all. So that led me to offering a lot more emotional support, you know, to my clients, where in my programs that I you know, do with them, they have daily WhatsApp support. They can ask me whatever questions they want. They can, you know, and I'm not here to judge them either. It's about, this is, you need to offload this and then do that, because again, it's about reducing as much stress on your body, you know, as possible, because that in turn messes your hormones, that then, you know, messes the reproductive system. Stress affects your gut. You can have like digestive issues, so everything is like interlinked. Then COVID hit, and it was like, oh my God, I had this thriving physical face-to-face clinic. I had a couple of practitioners working with me. What do I do? How do I support this clinic full of clients who were in the middle of their IVF treatments or fertility treatments? And I knew how important it was to be supported. So I was like, I can't abandon these clients. And you know, I had to work out a way, how can I still support them safely, knowing that I can't do it face to face, but what do I now do to make sure that, you know, they are being supported? So I learned to pivot my whole business online, and everything. I was like, oh yes, you know, reflexology. People are like, oh yeah, but that's only foot. But actually, no, reflexology can be done on the hands. Reflexology can be done on the face. You've got, you know, auricular reflexology as well. So I didn't know much about hands because I was all about feet, and I quickly learned, right, what points, you know, correlate on the hands that are on the feet. So I turned my whole face-to-face reflexology business into virtual. And again, people are like, oh, but how do you do it? And I was like, right, I'm going to show you. I lift my hand, I do the work like this, you're doing, your hand is like that, and you're just literally following me. It took time, but when I started getting clients conceiving, working with me online, I knew my work was valid, because I had, you know, it's horrible as it sounds, and in the industry that we are, I had therapists bashing me, saying that I am doing disservice to our industry, and you can't massage online, and you're just taking money, and all that. And that really, really like hurt, and it questioned, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Thankfully, something inside said, no, carry on, you are doing the right thing. Because energy travels. It's not static, it's not physical where you are, it's everywhere. So I tweaked my programs, and then as more and more clients were signing up to work with me virtually, I knew in my heart that this is the right way to go. So between March and July, when everyone else had shut down because they had to, like, you know, Mr. Johnson, and remember, it's like, it's the date is like tomorrow, 4 years ago. You know, when he said, right, the whole world has to shut down, it was like heartbreaking. And I was like, right, I'm going to continue. And then when the world came back in July, I was like, oh, I've been working, I'm going to take a break. So I took a bit of a break and then resumed in September. Part of me was still like, oh no, I need to go back to clinic, I need to go back to clinic. And part was like, no. And the part of me that was no said, right, to stop you from swaying, sell all your materials, sell all your possessions. And that's exactly what I did. I sold my couches, I sold my towels, I sold my massage balms, I got rid of books and stuff that I didn't need, because I needed to clear that energy for myself to know that I'm not going back to a face-to-face environment. The online way is working. It doesn't work for everyone. I appreciate that, but it's worked for the clients who have worked with me. And in that first year of COVID, I had 25 couples fall pregnant without seeing me face to face, trusting in the process, working on themselves, getting the support they needed. And I was like, energy travels, and it was mindset. If you believe you can help yourself, you can help yourself. So that for me has been the last 4 years of my own business. And because I gave up certain therapies, so my business 4 years ago was called Fertility Bump and Beyond, as you know, that's how you knew me. But the Beyond was going, it went way before COVID came. Then the bump went as well. And I was like, I can't be called Fertility Bump and Beyond anymore. It just doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't sit with me. It's not who I am anymore. And I, toed and froed for such a long time. And then as I was, I was asking clients like, what made you come to me? They said, Rakhee, it's you. It's not your business. It's you. And that's where I thought, oh my God, people are coming to me. It doesn't matter whether I'm a fertility therapist or I'm a gut health specialist or whatever. They're coming to me for the service that I'm providing. And I wanted to get away from the whole fertility side, like 100%. So I thought, right, what do I call my business? And I thought, well, people are coming for me, so why not just call it Rakhee Shah? So my business now is my website is rakheeshah.me, and people are, oh, but why the .me? I said, well, people are coming to me, so I thought it was a very apt domain to have rakheeshah.me rather than .com or all of that. I couldn't get .com anyway because it's such a popular name, and it just felt right. It just really, really felt right. Anyway, so I've been a nutrition geek for so many years. Having been, like I said, on my own fertility journey, it really inspired me. So I've done various different nutrition courses, and I've always wanted to do like an advanced course and something like that. November 2020, my husband had a heart attack. He was only 45 years old, and that really shook all of us because whilst it was genetics, it's in the male linear line, we didn't expect it at 45. And it was like, oh my God. And that again was another crunch point of like, right, we need to look into our diet, lifestyle, stress, all of that. And then I came across my functional nutrition medicine course that I was doing in, I think, July 22. And I signed up in September. It started in September 22, and I'm literally about to graduate. And I knew last year then that Fertility Bump and Beyond had to go, and Rakhee Shah was born. And I literally did it on 8/8, and 8 a.m. Fertility Bump and Beyond closed, and 8 p.m. Rakhee Shah birthed. And it was just like, yes, this feels really, really right. And it's opened up the doors to more people seeking help that are not on a fertility journey. And that's where my aim is, because I know that gut health is the thing that everyone needs to work on, because if you've got eczema or asthma or heart issues or fertility issues or arthritis or anything, it stems from poor gut health. Not totally, but majority of it is that. And I was like, if I can help people at this higher level, then everything that's happening underneath has a chance of healing or clearing or making the people feel a lot better. So that's my aim, is to help people on their gut health that will then help them in their fertility. And this last year that I've been using the education that I've been taught, using the tests that I've been taught, teaching clients about food. Use food as medicine. Don't necessarily, we're so quick to pop a pill. Why have you got headache? It's not about popping that paracetamol. It's about understanding, why have you got that headache? Have you eaten something that you're sensitive to? Have you not slept enough? Have you not hydrated enough? So for me, it's about teaching people about food and how food is what's going to help you and push you forward. So that's where I am at and how I've evolved. And it's my own journey, family journey, clients journey, everything that's happened that's made me create my own unique way of helping and healing the clients that come and work with me.
Okay, lovely. Wow, that's a full-on story, and I hope that everything is much better for your husband now as well. So okay, so are you going to be focusing your work on is it going to be for women? Is it going to be for men? Is it going to continue to be for people who are trying to get pregnant? Who's it for?
So the fertility side, definitely, I always ask that people on the journey work with me as a couple. It takes two to make a baby. It shouldn't be down to the woman. The woman, yes, has that, desperation, vulnerability, she's willing to do everything. But if the sperm isn't healthy, then, you're going to create issues, or conception isn't going to happen. So work with, ask both of them to work with me, and the men who have worked with me, those are the couples who've gone on to conceive, and the men who had, they've had health issues or things going on that they've just not been able to rectify or work on, and suddenly they feel a lot better. So on the fertility side, yes, it's anyone who is on a journey, who is struggling, who has potentially had multiple failed IVFs or recurrent miscarriages, or is just not able to fall pregnant. There is so much to be done. And again, allow yourself 3 months prior to conceiving, before conceiving, to really work on all of this, because the egg and sperm you conceive with today was actually developed 3 months ago. So whatever you've done in the last 3 months will depict the quality, genetics, health, everything into that egg and sperm that you're going ahead to create, hopefully, a healthy baby that's hopefully not going to have your bad genetics or any health issues going forward.
Okay,
And
so
then
are you
on
going
the,
to be okay?
and then on the other side, I just want to say, like, the gut health. So again, and that's the reason I rebranded, is I don't want people to feel that I only do fertility work. So if someone, I'm working with clients who've got colitis, who've got arthritis, and who've got autoimmune conditions. And again, that is all down to gut health stuff. So it's opened up the doors for people who are on a health journey as well, who need help, to get the right help that they need as well.
Okay, amazing. So are you going to be combining the gut health with energy work as well, or are you just going to be concentrating on gut health?
No, I already do. So on the fertility side, on the 12-week program that I do, clients get reflexology, they get Reiki. I use kinesiology to identify like what certain supplements they need, and then also focusing on some functional testing that they need. So like potentially a stool test, which your poo can identify a lot of what's going on internally. And the other test I really love, which gives a lot more information, is it's called hair tissue mineral analysis. Literally cut a bit of your hair, get it sent for testing, and then it can help me identify mineral imbalances. And people think that, oh, let me just take a multivitamin. But if your minerals are not in balance, taking a multivitamin is pointless. Your vitamins will not work unless your minerals are in balance.
Are
So
you going to be doing that testing yourself, or are you going to be doing that with clients? Do you do that with clients, or do you send them away?
no, so I can order the tests, and then the clients can then do the tests. They get sent back to the lab that they work with, and I get the reports, and then I can analyze and then create bespoke programs for the clients themselves.
Okay, so you're going to have sort of two different businesses, as it were. You're going to continue with the fertility business, but you're also going to be offering it out to individuals as well. You want
Yeah,
a holistic approach to whatever is occurring for them. Anything from autoimmune to whatever, I presume. So people
yeah,
can reach out to you because they just want holistic functional medicine. So like a functional medicine doctor, but you're not calling yourself a doctor, but a functional medicine practitioner. So that's
yeah,
kind of what you're going to be doing. Is that correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because as I said, doctors, bless them, don't have much time to spend with you. Often we'll give you a prescription that may not be the right thing. And, you know, I'm not saying that I do this with every client, but I've had clients who have been able, with the supervision of their GPs, have been able to come off certain medications because, again, we've worked on the gut and the underlying cause of the condition that they have developed.
Okay, amazing. All right, this is very much needed in this day and age, and I'm really getting excited and understanding what you're saying now. So on both counts, I think maybe at some point you might have to choose, but you'll be busy on both, I'm sure, and you've already been busy with the fertility in the past. And I just want to say, as somebody who's I think I told you this before, but as somebody in the past who tried to have a baby for, I can't remember, a couple of years, and my ex-husband, I went and had reflexology and I got pregnant straight away. And I could actually feel my ovaries sort of moving, sort of, I could feel the energy of the reflexology on my ovaries. And I knew, like, it was like I knew. And I think it's really brilliant that you work with men, and that you realize that men have a big part to play on obviously you've been through that, your own experience of that, but men have a big part to play in the fertility of you know, of conceiving, really. I always believe that when men decide that they want a baby, that's when it happens. So it's really interesting that you have a lot of good outcomes with men who get involved as well. So that makes a lot of sense, and yeah, really exciting stuff. So yeah. So what do you love most about your work, Rakhee?
I love the feelings of happiness that my clients get. I love when they say to me, oh my God, I didn't have period pains this month, or that heartburn has gone, or so I love the results that, you know, my clients get from the work. But I also love it when they say, Rakhee, thank you for listening. And that is really important, because there are not many people here who listen to other people, or, you know, going through issues. And, you know, part of the functional medicine, nutrition medicine course we're doing is coaching. And part of coaching is the art to sit with the client, allow them to offload, and you being that safe space where they feel safe, that they can open up, and then you work together as to how to bring them out of this crisis or issue, and, you know, what are the steps that they can now take to continue that healing and move forward to wherever it is that they need to go to. So, you know, I think as therapists, we do a lot of listening, we do a lot of space holding, and that's what I love, that my clients feel safe, and I feel honored that I can provide that space for them to be able to have those shifts within themselves, and yeah, progress forward.
You know, it's really interesting what you're talking about here. Yeah, it's really lovely that you really love holding space, and I really resonate with that, because holding a safe space for your clients to be seen and heard and listened to is like the beginning of the process, isn't it? And then it's like identifying how can I help this client. And it's very interesting that quite a lot of us now are kind of, you know, I started off as a Reiki healer, and sort of moved then into coaching, because I realized the women didn't want to go home, they wanted to have a cup of tea and a chat. And I thought, okay, I need to move into coaching. And then from there, it's moved on, and now getting more sort of, you know, niching into sexual trauma, because I found that 80% of the women that were coming to me, in fact, probably 90% of the women that come to me, the root cause of their issues were actually caused from sexual trauma. And so I've kind of moving more into that space. But what I was saying was, it's really interesting that we've all started off with one thing, and then we've kind of added on all our skills. So what's happening now in the coaching business is that we've got lots and lots of skills. And as you rightly said, people don't come to you necessarily for the one thing. They come to you for you, as Rakhee. And I think that's becoming much more prevalent in the coaching field and in the healing field, is that we have lots of different skills, lots of modalities, as it were. So we see micro CBT and holistic therapy, and neuroplasticity and trauma and Reiki healing and sound healing, and you've got all your things. And actually, it's like putting all those things together and creating a safe container to say, okay, you're an individual person. let's try and holistically give you what you need by listening to what you need. So you're taking a very bespoke approach to healing and trying to work out what does this individual need, and then try different things until you get to where the client needs you. So, you know, that's what you're really kind of saying, and it's becoming quite clear in this conversation that that's a thing. That's a big thing for a lot of us. We're moving into, you know, what do we call ourselves? Like you said, what do we call ourselves? Yeah, let's just use our names. This is what we do. And if you resonate with me, come see me. So yeah. So what's your why? What's your why? It's slightly different to your yeah.
Yeah. So my why is, as I said, you know, having been through the fertility journey myself, coming from a culture that didn't understand what infertility was, that it was still a taboo, there was a blame game, being the first on both sides of the family to go through it. So, you know, no one understood what we were going through, or they didn't know how to help us, which is very common, you know, in the, like, you know, fertility side, where people mean well, but, you know, you who's going through it is hurting in a different way to the person that's, you know, trying to help you. So sometimes when they something which they mean well by can actually be very hurtful for the person, you know, going through it. So when I found that online world that gave me the support I needed, I knew when I was doing when I niched into this, that I want to be that support for the person going through it, because no one deserves to go through that sort of a journey alone. It really is awful. And, you know, it can also put strain on the relationship between you and your partner as well, because you're both going through it, but you're both going through it in different ways. Men go through it in a more emotional, maybe psychological level, but women also have the added layer of the physical level of it as well. And so, you know, when our periods come, or, you know, God forbid, miscarriage, or, you know, any of those things, men may not understand what's going on because they're not physically going through it. They're trying their own way to support the person. The female is in need of support in a different way to what the man needs. And so for me, my why is, if I can hold hands and allow people to go through this in a safe, loved, nurtured way, then for me, that's the biggest thing. And that's why I do what I do, is to be that support person for the person going through it.
Interesting. I feel like there's two whys. I feel like, would you be fair to say that you've got this why around the fertility part of your business because of your own experience, but also you now have another why. After your husband's heart attack, I think you were saying it's really important that you realize about nutrition and gut health. So I feel like there's two whys. Is that would that be fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, I'm going to put a third why in as well,
Sure.
because you just reminded me of something. So again, when my husband had his heart attack, he was in hospital, and when he was feeling a bit better, I said, look, would you be open to us sharing your journey? Not you know, and it wasn't for sympathy or empathy or anything like that, because when he experienced his heart attack, he didn't have the classic heart attack symptoms. He wasn't going, oh my God, like this. He didn't have the pain down the shoulder. He wasn't breathless, or, you know, anything like that. He thought initially that he had food poisoning, and therefore he was, like, you know, trying to vomit it up, and therefore his chest was hurting because he'd heaved a lot. And he was, you know, walking around, talking, sleeping, everything. It was, we didn't even think to call 999. We dialed 111 because he was like, I just don't feel well, and he was in the bathtub. I was like, you know, let me just call 111. You know, I just, let's see what they have to say. And bless the operator at the other end asked all the relevant questions, and it was the quite one question where obviously she asked, because he was like, I just got chest pain. And she goes, does it feel like there's an elephant on your chest? So he's in the bath, I'm on the phone reiterating everything. And he goes, yeah, actually, yeah, it feels like a chest. So obviously she's got red flags going on her end, heart attack or whatever it is that they do. And she was so calm on that phone. And she's like, okay, we're just going to dispatch an ambulance, over to you, just to get you checked out, make sure everything's okay. But obviously, in their eyes, they know that it's a heart attack type thing. And paramedics came, big ambulance. Bearing in mind I've got twins, so they 2020, what we now 24, 16. They just turned 12. And yeah, oh my god, this big ambulance, this excitement, and then they come with this big crash, car and everything. And he's sat casually. The paramedics are checking, and we had a conservatory in our previous house, and so the paramedics back was to me, and she eyed the other paramedic, and I was like, okay, something's definitely going on here. And again, calmly, the paramedic said to my husband, Mr. Shah, not to alarm you, but you're having a heart attack. And we're like, oh my God. Now, bear in mind, middle of COVID, thick of it. So they took him away, and there's me saying to the twins, right, pack your bag, I'm sending you off to your grandparents. And the paramedic's like, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Shah, but you can't come, because no one was allowed in hospitals or anything. So panic for me, like, oh my God, like, how can I not, go with him? Anyway, those next like 6-7 hours were like the worst. But going back to my third why, so I said to Karen, look, can we share your story? Because if it helps one other person, that's our job done. So my third why, or everything that I do, is education and sharing. That there is no secrecy, because why be secret about this thing if my situation and journey can help someone else overcome whatever they're going through, then I'm more than happy and willing to share whatever it is that is required. So I guess that's 3 whys.
I love that. I mean, I was just with you the whole way on that, like filling up almost the tears, and you know, and then you coming to that third why of like speaking out to help other people. Like obviously, my journey, and having spoken out my biggest speak out ever a few days ago, and the reaction was, my own. I felt sick when I wrote my post about my own journey, but I knew that by sort of writing it in such a way that would help other people. Again, it's not always obvious, like you said, with your husband's heart attack, and with my journey, and you just think, you kind of go, you hold your breath, don't you? Is going to be really helpful? But when you get the feedback that it has really helped other people, and you start to get the DMs, and people say, oh my God, thank you for sharing that. This is what happened to me, or this is you kind of feel like, okay, that's my why. And it can feel clunky, and it can feel uncomfortable, especially when you make what we have in common is not diversion, when you make another choice, another path, and then you have to kind of like bring the paths together into some sort of holding container. And I really resonate with that. So all of your whys are amazing whys. And my next question was kind of to find out a little bit more about the woman behind her business. But already we can hear about the woman behind her business, that she's passionate, and that she's a family woman, and that she had this these question marks around her own fertility, which led her to creating the fertility business, and now nutritional health because of the heart attack. I presume that's the nutritional part, or is there more to that?
So the fertility side really opened up my eyes, because as I said, we'd worked with a nutritionist who, as I said, we would eat what we thought was healthy foods, and she was like, no, this is not helping you on your journey, it's creating inflammation, or all of those sorts of things. Because I grew up with things like heavy painful periods, I didn't know I had fibroids, and looking back on my journey now and the whole medical testing, and I was like, right, I can actually tick the boxes on my side, that issues that I presented with that would have potentially added to why we were struggling to conceive. And it was the mix of the acupuncture and the nutrition that changed my whole body around. I felt stronger. I went from 10-day bleeds to 6-day bleeds, bright red blood, no clots, no pain. And so again, it's the education. Period pain is not normal. Clotting is not normal. How you eat, what you eat can really massively affect your reproductive system.
So what did you change in your eating habit? What did you
So,
note that was not good for you?
so being a vegetarian, we often lack protein. So again, I had no knowledge about what protein is, what fat is, what carb is. So just changing a whole plate. Breakfast often would be croissant and a cup of tea. And like, oh well, okay, that's fine, that's healthy, that's not like bad or anything like that. But no protein in there, that's processed carbs. And then not eating enough. People don't realize that actually, if you don't eat enough, your body is not going to get what it needs, and it's going to store it and convert it into fat, and it's the wrong fat that it's going to convert it to. Hydration, like drinking, making sure that we were drinking filtered water as opposed to tap water. And then my husband has always been like a snorer, so the nutrition, like, well, you've got mucus buildup, and again, mucus buildup affects the sperm, so let's cut out milk drink. And he would every day have like a pint of milk with his like dinner. He's got eczema, so there's a whole mix of things that we were like, okay, this now makes absolute sense. So then using that nutrition knowledge with my clients, with what I knew on some of the various courses and stuff, and then this course now is on a level on its own and has really opened up my eyes to even things like, lot of vegetarians will eat processed meats, as in the fake meats, or to think that they're healthy, we're getting our protein levels in there, and actually it's just adding to inflammation.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I have really tried to nail in and work and add into my clients. And I kid you not, literally within 2 to 4 weeks of changes, my clients are reporting how they're lighter, brighter, energized, just so many things, just by educating them that, look, these are good breakfast options, these are good lunch options. It's not about me creating you a meal plan, because I don't know what your likes and dislikes are. And if I create you a meal plan, you're going to look at it and go, I'm not going to eat that, I'm not going to eat that, I'm not going to eat that. And therefore you have resentment around food. Again, it's that energy, isn't it? It's that mindset. Enjoy everything you do and know why you're doing it, to help you get to where you're looking to go. And seek help. People can help you tweak stuff and help you understand, why do you need to eat that protein, and how can you make it more tasty, or fit in with what is happening in your life.
Yeah, amazing. It's really interesting because still at school they still teach, I can't remember the name of it, you'll probably know the name of it, the idea of meat, veg and dairy on the plate. They still teach that the standard plate of food should be those three things, vegetables, meat, and dairy. And it's quite incredible. I find it quite incredible in this day and age that this is still the standardization that's being taught to our children, because we're all aware, as you said, that dairy products can lead to asthma and eczema and skin conditions and all sorts of other things. And meat, obviously, the meat industry, processed meats, the cow, the dairy industry cutting down the rainforest and being aware of climate change and all of those things as well, but also the fact that lots of red meat isn't good for our systems. You don't get taught that in school. You just get taught, right, eat a balanced meal of these three different things, and that's it. And it's just absolutely amazing that we're living in a day and age where we know that to be a fallacy. It's not true. So what's really interesting is, what was my question going to be about that? My question around that is, so I'm just going to observe what you said about not telling people what to do about meal plans. That was really interesting, because I get a lot of clients come to me and they say to me in our process, in my program as well, they'll say to me, "Oh, can you tell me what to eat? Can you, and I'll be like, look, I'm not going to do meal plans for you. That's not what I do. But what I can do is guide you to basic nutrition." So what is quite amazing is basic things like when you ask the average person, do you steam or do you boil vegetables? They're like, I boil vegetables. And you say, okay, so have you ever looked at the water? It's green. Does that not tell you that everything you've just cooked is now being poured down the sink, and you might as well not bother eating the vegetables. And then oh, so I've actually bought several of my clients steamers, which is quite a funny thing. I think to have me and Amazon have got a good relationship with steamers at the moment. I'm buying everyone steamers. So it's kind of like pointing people in the right direction to functional medicine. I don't know about you, but I love Mark Hyman. I've been following him for years. And there are lots of really, really great, and there is the Zoe app. We did discuss that, and there are, pros and cons with that. But it might help you with your sugar, but it might not help you with your multivitamins and minerals and all of those things. So, yeah, it's pointing people in the direction of nutrition rather than sort of dictating what they eat, which is really interesting. So yeah, okay, what I want to ask you now is, yeah, where can people find you? I think that's a good thing. Where can people find you? Do they find you online, or do they find you in person? Where can they find you?
So since I pivoted through COVID, I have literally enjoyed working online. So I don't see any clients at all face to face. We moved house a couple of years ago, and I actually don't have any space. I have my little office here that I work from, but I have no space to actually see clients face to face. And I've had like a few of my old clients go, "Oh, when are you going back face to face?" And I've had those heartstrings like, no, I'm not doing it. It's a different energy now to what it was. So I am online. Website, as I said, is www.rakheeshah.me, and my Facebook and Instagram handles are exactly that, rakheeshah.me, whichever handle you choose. So yeah, I am contactable online, and I offer initial complimentary 15-minute calls just to discuss what's going on. Are we a fit for each other? Because again, energetically it has to feel right that I can work with you and you can work with me, but also just to give you a couple of nuggets that you can take away with, that you can start thinking, right, okay, oh, she's mentioned that, let me try that and see what happens. Or it might be that, like, go back to your GP and ask them to test you for these certain things that haven't been tested for, so that we can understand properly that what is going on and why it's going on with you.
So do you run bespoke programs, or do you
Yes.
have a set program?
No, so my fertility work is totally bespoke. Whilst it's a 12-week program, and whilst you get elements of reflexology, Reiki, nutrition, all that, it is completely bespoke to you. So when a client comes to me every week, I have no idea what it is that I'm going to treat them with until we have a mini consultation of what's going on. For the females, there'll be some cycle specific work. So, if they're in the ovulatory phase or the luteal phase, or that, some of the treatments will be according to that. But it's completely bespoke to you. Everyone's supplement plan is completely bespoke to them. There's no point in me saying to you, you need magnesium, zinc, and B vitamins if you don't need that, but you're on a fertility journey. And then it's also looking into what medication they're on and what nutrient deficiency that is creating, because that's something that's vital to be replenished as well. So all my fertility programs are completely bespoke. I'm trying to launch some group online fertility work, so to allow couples who may not have the capacity to work with me on a one-to-one basis, but I still want to be able to provide some sort of support to couples. So I'm trying to launch some group online courses. I did one last year that was a hit, and with that it's not bespoke to you, but there are elements that you can use that will start healing and working on what's going. So last year I just did it with the females. The feedback was, please include the men. So this time around, it's a couples course. You have to buy it as a couples course, and then even though the men and women will be on separate evenings because protocols are completely different, but yeah, it's get the men involved in that. And then the nutrition is totally bespoke. It literally that is a one-on-one. There is no group on that at all. So it's nutrition. I ideally need to see you about 3 or 4 sessions over a 4 to 6 month period for really get changes into place.
Okay, and are your courses with the for the fertility treatments, are they they're online and they're on Zoom, and are they live or are they pre-recorded?
No, they're live. So what happens, the plan is there will be an online portal which will give you mini teachers of information that's pertinent to your fertility. So you can watch those videos in your own time. Then I'll hold weekly live Q&A. So any questions you've got with regards to the teachers that you've got. And then every week over a 12-week period, I will come online where the group, whoever the cohort is, will come online and we'll do the reflexology sequence online live.
Great. That's been absolutely amazing talking to you. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, just a couple of things is, remember, it takes two to tango. So please, this baby is as much important for the woman as it is for the man. It's your genetics and stuff in it. We are living in such a fast-paced society. Slow down, look into your lifestyle. If you've got any family history of any issues, go and get yourself checked out and become preventative rather than needing medicine going forward. Use all the information you've got to hand to start preventing things from happening and just improving your lifestyle from now rather than waiting until it's too late.
Amazing. It's been so lovely talking to you. And I will list all your socials and your website address and where people can find you at the bottom of this video. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and best of luck with all this nutritional work. I will definitely be reaching out to you as well to kind of talk about what my needs are. I spend far too much money at the moment on supplements, guessing, and I don't want to guess anymore. So I will be personally in touch with you for a one-to-one bespoke understanding of my supplement needs, because if we're spending between 20 and 40 pounds, whatever it is, maybe 60 pounds a month on supplements, you're wasting your money. So maybe we need to be reaching out to people like Rakhee to find out what we actually need. So have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Love and light, and I will see you again very soon, I hope. And thank you all for watching. Thank you. Take care. Bye.